There is a particular word that strikes fear in all game masters. It's a simple word, but it carries a lot of weight. Railroading. And for those that haven't been playing RPG games for a long time, let me explain. You take your players and you put them in tracks, a single track towards your adventure, and no matter what they do, you always bring them back into the tracks because you wrote the story, you wrote this adventure, you wrote these fantastic locations and everything, and you want your players to play that. You take agency away from the players. Suddenly, the players are just there to do what you tell them to do, basically, and then just roll dice for the results. And we don't want that, because an RPG game, the beauty of an RPG game is that the story is written at the table. It's not written in your text editor. It's at the table with the players. That's where you write the story. The RPG game, the tabletop RPG, frees you, lets you act like a person would act within the limits of the character definition and the game system. And you can do basically whatever you want to do. That's the magic of RPG games. However, there is a time where you should railroad your players. I'll even go further. I'll say that you may have to railroad your players. When is that time? At the beginning of an adventure. You see, there are game masters that create beautiful worlds, very intricate, with a lot of culture and lore and factions and countries and all that. And it's a beautiful thing, but then they plop the players on the world right off the bat. Brand new game, plop the players, and then expect them to do things? For most players, this is unfair to the players, especially if they're new to the world. If they don't know nothing about your world, if their characters don't know the other characters, then what's going to motivate them to be together? What's going to be what makes them join forces and go off on an adventure? You have to provide something to them. And of course, there are players that can pull this off. And there are game masters that can pull this off, conversely. They are able to just create a world, plop characters there, and let things run. And they're successful at that. But honestly, that's the rare case. For the most part, you want a hook. That's why Wizards of the Coast has created adventures. Because they create something, a book with a bunch of information that you can use to link those players together and have them go together on adventures. Going back to the subject matter. Why do I say that railroading is a good thing when you're starting off? I think it's pretty simple. It's because you want to guide the characters at that point in time so that they have a good motivation to be together and to adventure. It makes it so much easier for the players. Instead of them wondering what's the right thing to do at that point in time, should I talk to this character? Should I create a brawl in a bar? Instead of that, you can have the players have an immediate reason to be together and to work together. Mike Shea proposes in the Lazy Dungeon Master where you gotta have a strong start. This is part of the strong start. But if you are in the start of starts, day one, session one, characters are all brand new world, especially if it's a brand new world, especially if it's a homebrew world, you want to make it easy for those players to be together. So yeah, at that point, railroad them. Have an invasion go through the town they are in, or have some supernatural thing happen, or have people suddenly start dying off, or bring in the guards and just point at them and say, arrest these people. Whatever, something that immediately binds them in as a group of adventurers. And from that point in time, just be strong-handed. Carry them. And then when you carry them, you basically take them to a certain point in time where the adventure actually starts. You drop them off and then slowly let them go. Because you're not going to be doing that railroading forever. You don't want that, of course. But as soon as things start to turn in such a way that the players are in the actual first adventure, let them go. slowly release the players. Let them get off the tracks. Of course, again, within constraints. You want the players to at least have a certain level of working together before allowing them, for example, to separate. So that's why railroading for an adventure is not like an on-off switch. You have to gradually let go until you perceive that everybody has found their groove, and everybody then, they're on their own. Now they have full agency, and now they can go wherever they want. One important point here. Players, don't ignore the hooks that your game master puts out there for you. Don't be that player. Again, especially when starting off. It's very difficult for us game masters to develop something from scratch and create an adventure that we think are gonna hook the players and have them get them excited. Please don't be that person that ignores all the clues blatantly on purpose, ignores all the hooks on purpose, and then decides to go off in a different direction. Some difference is nice, bring in some flavor, but be very careful. Be very careful to don't disregard the work of your game master, especially when you realize that the game master is trying to hook you into the adventure, because you know that the game master eventually is going to let you go free. Railroading? Bad? Good? Depends. Use it with care. Be wise. Read your players. Read the adventure, like figure out how things are developing, and then start letting go. I assure you that if you do this, your brand new games, your brand new adventures are going to start off way better. It's going to be way easier for the players to become used to their characters, and for you as a game master to get a feel of how the players interact and work within that world. So tell me, do you railroad your players to a certain extent? Do you think this is totally wrong and you should never do it? Or do you think this is actually a good thing? Or do you even take it even further, the railroading, further into the campaign or the sessions? Let me know in the comments. I would like to know different opinions about this. As always, if you like the video, click the like button, which is on this side. If you like the content of my channel, feel free to subscribe. I really appreciate it. And until next time, keep those D20s rolling.